Good Wednesday afternoon, everyone. King 5 meteorologist Adam Claiborne here to talk about our system that's moving through right now, to talk about the king tides that are expected here for the weekend, and the cooler weather and the drier weather too, the drier trend that we're going to see as we head really over the next 7-day stretch. Now today, not the case. We do have a lot of rain that is out there moving through the area, so things a little wet and maybe a bit more wet in other spots. Now you can see here in Tacoma, looks like a lot of the heavier showers that we had around earlier this morning now beginning to head off to the east. Same could be said here in Seattle. Still a few light showers, however, if you're heading out this afternoon. But what it has put down, some additional snow. Still nothing too heavy yet, but we will pile up some of these numbers here and amounts over the passes, which is great to see. Some fresh powder for the ski resort. Stevens Pass, you can see conditions there looking quite snowy. A lot of cars showing up in the parking lot there. Snoqualmie Pass, make sure that you're going to be taking it a little easy, especially if you're heading out and over the passes later on this evening or heading on into the night, as we expect to see more snow at that point. And yeah, another look at a pretty busy parking lot right there, looking at White Pass as the cars are all there and ready to get in on some of that fresh powder. Now Westport, there's a different story there. You can see skies actually breaking apart and beginning to give way to a little sunshine. A little bit of a different story because, well, past couple of days it's been rainy out on the coast, while things here closer to more of Puget Sound and more interior areas have been fairly quiet. A little wave action happening there, but nothing too serious when it comes to that. Now the rain has been higher, and more of that has been out along the coast earlier here into the day, but you can see a lot of that has now made its way off to the east, but not before putting down a ½ inch to an inch out along the coast. Amounts much lower here closer to Puget Sound, 1/10 to 1/3 of an inch so far. Still going to be seeing some more rain chances here into the afternoon, into the evening, but they are decreasing. So if you have evening plans, make sure to have the rain gear nearby, but it doesn't look like you're going to be soaked. Temperatures in the 40s today, dropping into the 30s as some cool air starts to try to settle on in behind this system. Here it is. You can see the satellite and radar pictures showing some of those showers moving off to the east, things quieting down there along the coast as we get a little sunshine and those spotty showers, while seeing more areas of light rain here closer to Puget Sound and some heavier stuff again down into California. It looks like this will be more of a Northern California event when it comes to that. And beyond too, I wanted to show you what's happening right back here. There's another system that is approaching the West North American coast. Thing about it is that's going to be heading generally in the direction of British Columbia and southeast Alaska. So that's going to be heading more of that way and eventually coming over a ridge of high pressure that's going to develop, and that will bring in some quieter weather here as we go on into the week. So as high pressure builds in, which we're going to see that here over the next couple of days, expect to see more sunshine ahead as we go later on into your days for Thursday and Friday. Now winter weather advisories are still out until 4 a.m. for elevations above 2,500 feet, where we could see up to 7 inches of snow ahead as we go on into the night. Looks like that's going to be all across the Cascades, but once that front pushes on by, you can start to see high pressure beginning to build on into the area. That's going to help to really cut off a lot of the moisture source that we see here heading on into tonight, into the day Thursday. Maybe a few more clouds still expected on Thursday with a few showers too, but Friday will be the sunnier day as we'll get a lot of sunshine out there. Temperatures trying to rebound back around the mid to upper 40s. Doesn't look like it's going to be a warm day, but should feel a little warmer, especially with a lot more of the sunshine around. And as far as additional rain amounts, maybe 1/10 of an inch to 1/4. Higher amounts will be with our convergence zone, where we could see some of that right there from about, it looks like northern parts of King County up towards Snohomish County around Everett, and with that extending over towards Snoqualmie Pass, Stevens Pass. One of those two areas will be getting hit a little harder when it comes to some of the additional snow that we expect to see as we go on into the evening. So something to keep in mind. Snoqualmie Pass, Stevens Pass, right between there from I-90 up to Highway 2, we could see some pretty heavy snow come down for a period of time with the convergence zone and with some of the additional moisture. But for the rest of today, temperatures low to mid 40s, plenty of rain still around. Should be lighter though. We'll see highs in the upper 40s farther south around Bremerton, Seattle, Bellevue, Redmond, up to the mid 40s, up to 44 there, and calling for more of the mid 40s as you head farther to the south around Lakewood, Tacoma, Federal Way, and in Olympia. Your forecast tonight, temperatures eventually dropping down into the 30s, so there's that cold air beginning to arrive. A lot of the shower activity dying off, just a few of them around into the earlier part of Thursday. Then we're dry during the second half of Thursday, Friday dry, and that's what I was really pointing out, that the drying trend that we're going to see, and really the drier trend that we're going to keep around here as we go on into next week, will call for many of our days coming up to be drier rather than cooler, or drier rather than wetter. We will have some rain chances around like on Saturday and Monday, but even those chances are looking like they're only featuring a few showers here across the area. So no big rain producers here on the way. And as far as fresh snowpack and some of that fresh powder up across the mountains, the system coming through right now and tonight, that's going to be our best chance of piling up a little more. So if you can, get out and try to enjoy it here over the next couple of days. Everybody take care. Have a wonderful Wednesday. We'll talk to you later.
For more local news coverage, live and on demand, watch King 5 Plus. Download free on Roku and Fire TV.